Damn,
We're doing it.
we're going.
It's happening.
What's the topic today?
Decision making. So
Decision-making.
all things decision making, all things that have to do with decision making, decisions as a whole, how it affects our daily lives, how it affects our careers, our futures, how it affected our past. What's the date? April
Today is
14th,
the
2020. Still in quarantine. It's gonna be like this for a while. So
Is it?
yeah, I think so. I mean, who knows? Who knows what's again? We just don't know.
What do you mean we don't know, man?
We don't know. We just don't know.
You know what, dude? I knew it. We're gonna be like this till till August.
I think El Paso extended it till like May 17th or something.
You know that Jay Lars? He told me that we were on lockdown for another month. Did you hear about that? He said we're on lockdown for another month.
What do you mean?
I'm serious. We're locked down for another month. But he
do you
never
mean
sent me the article, so I don't know.
What do you mean lockdown?
Like this whole situation.
I know it's until
Stores
April
closed.
30th for sure.
No, well, I don't know. Maybe he was crossed.
No,
I don't know.
there's a lot of people saying a lot of different things, man.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
don't you? I mean, you get that vibe, right?
yeah.
Like, there's a lot of
You know
people
what,
saying
dude?
things out
Everyone's
there.
got a-
People believe a lot of stuff.
Everyone's got a fucking opinion, man. I don't know. I really don't know anymore. I don't care. Now,
I'm Adam Trevino, by the way.
I'm Elijah. They're here. They should watch the videos before.
But who knows, man? We got new people tuning in. Who knows?
That's true. Sure. I'm Elijah.
It's only
Rodriguez.
number 5. It's only number 5.
Adam Trevino. I'm Elijah. All right. Decision making. How do you?
I'm gonna start by asking you first,
Why are you gonna ask me?
because I want
right.
your opinion first.
All right. My opinion.
I got the intro. Now I want your opinion.
I make a decision. Split second.
Why?
Because I do what feels good in that exact moment.
You think that's a good way to approach things?
It's better than living and than being indecisive. I think I've always kind of made that decision, but I really emphasized it lately on anything that I do.
Emphasize it on what kind of decisions?
Anything, literally, from
Literally anything.
eating
Just anything.
food to
So, yeah.
big time game time.
Well, I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat. I don't know what I'm gonna eat at the time. I figure it out real quick.
Okay.
Same thing with anything.
How long has that been going on for?
Forever. You know,
Okay.
forever.
How
But-
has that treated you up to this point?
Honestly, man, like I've been pretty indecisive, so I'm really emphasizing that now. Like I'm starting that kind of like I'm like really starting to make decisions based on my own thoughts and my own organized
Whatever you just feel.
yeah, my own thing, rather than being indecisive. So,
Okay.
and
So
honestly,
at least you're making a decision rather than being
yeah, than
indecisive
just
about
sitting
stuff.
and just not
dwelling on
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Dwelling on the decision that you're planning on making.
Yeah,
That
we'll
is.
come back to that.
We'll come back to it, but
yeah, but
that's basically where you're getting at, right?
yeah.
Okay. My decisions, it depends. It depends on what I'm planning to make the decision on.
Right.
Anything from like small scale to large scale, I think I have a different approach.
Mm-hmm.
I am one of those guys that kind of like creates a pros and a con kind of list kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
However, they don't always work.
No, I mean it's not always gonna be.
I've made
bulletproof.
decisions where I just kind of like flip a switch. I'm like, I'm gonna do this thing because if I don't do it, I'll never know or realize
Yeah.
what's gonna happen afterwards.
Right.
I think one of those decisions was actually moving out of my house.
The
And
first time?
The first time. Well,
Both. I mean.
once I graduated college,
Right.
was moving out of my house.
Okay.
And moving to my apartment. I think that was one of those decisions I was like, I want to do this. This is it. That's it. No pros and cons. All I know is that I just wanted to move out, and that was it. I know I talk about that a lot
I can
because
understand
it was. I think it was a big part of where I'm at now and how I think now.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, strictly for decision making, I think that was one of those decisions where I just sat there and I was like, this is gonna happen. But full spectrum wise, I think everything. It just sort of depends because it could be something that's very, very small scale. If I want to decide to go for a run,
I mean that's what I'm saying. You can really apply that to anything. It doesn't
Right.
have to be big decisions. It can be on anything. But like, for me, I figure and like anybody who knows me knows I do stupid shit or like in their eyes it's dumb shit because I just do what I think on the fly. It doesn't matter what it is. I just do it.
and you don't care what they feel or how they think.
No,
right?
but see, it took a long time to get to that point. But see, like when it comes to stuff like that, it's like you'd rather make a decision quick, fast, And you know, I'd rather do that than sit in bullshit and just 50-50 my entire life.
Right.
Because I mean, there's people that are so indecisive and can't make the decision. I felt like I was one of those people for a while.
Right.
And you never get anywhere. You just sit kind of like on this line of like, I don't know what should I do this? I don't know if I should do that, and you just never fully make a decision, and then it ends up hurting you in the long run.
Right.
Rather than just being upfront, being straight. This feels good at this moment, right here, right now. I'm gonna do this.
So when you talk about those things and you make those decisions, do you feel like you have regret for some of those decisions that you make, or do you think, or do you make those decisions because you're not gonna have any regrets regardless?
See, I think that's kind of like, it's like you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some, and like that's just like life.
That's life. That's it.
That's life. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. Sure, like sometimes like it's gonna be a big decision you're gonna make, and you're gonna make a decision.
But you
and
learned off those things.
Yeah, you're gonna lose. Like that's just gonna happen. You're gonna fuck some shit up.
So do you believe in the statement?
No regrets.
No regrets.
I think that everyone's gonna have some sort of like look back and say, fuck, you know, maybe I should have done that. But like you can't dwell on it.
Right.
Like you got to move on, because it's like, you know, if you make a decision and you go about it and it turns out like damn, or like maybe it was, I don't know, man, like what's it give me an example of decision and I'll tell you.
A decision that you made?
That you made.
Like,
or that I made, man. I'll give you one that I made. Easy. Should I have gone to UTSA or should I have gone to St. Mary's?
For people that don't know what UTSA are.
Oh, University of Texas at San Antonio, or St. Mary's University here in San Antonio, Texas.
It's a smaller
private school versus a Division I public school, big school.
Right.
You know, looking back at it, as I'm paying back student loans, you know, price wise, I probably should have gone to UTSA.
Right.
100% should have gone. But in that moment, what I was going through and what I was doing, like it just seemed like the right decision to make. It seemed like I know people there. My girlfriend goes there. I'm going to go there. And you make that decision. You know, I could very well be like, God damn it. I'm sitting here. I lost I'm 20,000 deep.
Yeah.
Damn it. And you're just going to sit there and just cry about it? Like,
and then I feel like that's gonna kind of steamroll into other things that kind of affects. Like,
right. It snowballs.
Your mind is it snowballs. Exactly. I feel like that kind of snowballs into other things that you make decisions about.
You can't do that, man. You have to sit and say, you know what? You know, find the positive in it. I graduated, got a degree.
Right.
And it's like, you know what, dude? Like,
you're here now.
I'm here. I did it.
And you learned.
You learned. Maybe, you know, for my kids or for my brother and my sister who are going through college right now, tell them like, hey, dude, here's the route you should and the route you probably shouldn't take, because I've been there and I've done it.
Yeah.
And you just learn from it, man. There's no reason, you know, you made that bed, sleep in it, you know.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to put it.
I think people, like, they make these big decisions and they really don't they don't I mean, I don't think they sit and they dwell like, damn, you know, I really should have gone that other route. But like in reality, you're never gonna know what would have happened if you went the other way.
Right.
So why are you gonna sit and waste time dwelling on it when you can like literally move past it, like accept it? People don't accept their past decisions, man. Right. And they just sit and they like dwell like, damn, like. And I think that's where your regret comes in. Really, people sitting there like, oh my god, like, I should have done this, but like, why are you gonna dwell on something that you're just what ifing all day, every day, for the rest of your life? Like, you can't go back as much as you'd wish you could. You can't.
Right. So. But do you feel like some of the decisions that you did make back then were influenced by people, or do you feel like, man, was this on me? I made this choice. You know, like how do you kind of decipher what you feel like is something that you did as opposed to something that someone else influenced you to do?
I honestly don't think I started making decisions for myself until probably about maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I think I was too mentally weak. I was too lazy.
Mental midget.
Yeah, mental midget. I don't think I was really making this. I don't think I was making decisions for myself, man.
Yeah.
I was always heavily relying on other people to make those decisions for me. Like it.
And why do you think that is?
I think I was immature.
Immature.
100%. Yeah, I didn't know.
Still
I was.
A kid.
Yeah, not even a year ago. I wasn't a kid anymore. Technically, I was 23 years old.
But,
should be.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
sure, you're young. You're
just graduated college.
I feel that, but I just think, you know, a lot of people my age or younger are making decisions for themselves rather than, you know, leaning on your parents like, hey, what.
But do you think that just depends on your timeline in like your timeline of figuring things out? Because I feel like even people in their 30s and 40s can say like, oh well, man, I can look back on the past 30 years of my life. Like, I still wasn't making decisions.
Could
for
be,
myself.
yeah, it really could.
I feel like that might be like
Oh,
more of a mental
100%.
emotional sort of
Yeah, it
thing
really
aspect.
could. I didn't even think about it like that. Too. You really
You know what I
just said
mean?
that. Yeah, it could be.
I feel like it shouldn't be solely put down on like your age, but more so like just understanding or figuring out a lesson or learning a lesson in your life. Like that can come.
Yeah, that can come anytime. Really,
You're
it can
down
come,
the
It
road.
can come anytime, anywhere.
Right. I mean, think about people being in really bad relationships. Like
Yeah.
they're always letting like their significant other, their wife, whoever, making decisions for them,
Mm-hmm.
telling them where to do, what to do.
And man, that can
where to
lead
go.
to a lot of resentment.
Sure.
Towards a lot of different things.
Yeah, I mean that could be like this whole side. Obviously, this kind of a sidetrack, but it could really snowball.
Yeah.
On
To other aspects of your life, and it
Sure.
can really cause you to be unhappy, like in all avenues.
Sure.
I really think, and I think happiness is something we really need to probably schedule. We need to talk about happiness, rather than we talked about success, but I think happiness on another side.
Yeah, I
note,
think.
on
Yeah,
how to measure
we'll
that.
definitely nail that down on one
But I
of the
think
future podcasts.
and I think that people like to blame others on decisions that they make.
Mhm.
I used to do that. I used to sit at home and like legitimately, and it took a long time for me to get to this point where you're like, you have to sit and like you have to really like decisions that you made that you really hate, things that you did that you really regret. Honest, and you have to be honest with yourself. It's like you can sit here and blame it on people, like it's because of you I did this, or it's because of you
Right.
I came here, it's because of you it's because of this, because of that.
So, do you think it's wrong to think that?
Of course.
So you're saying that all
Absolutely.
decisions were ultimately based off of
Right. So
what you
so
wanted
for
to
a
do.
while, so and like I said, it's an acceptance thing. It's looking in the mirror and like seeing yourself and like coming to terms with the decisions you made.
Sure.
Because you ultimately have the say.
But you were influenced at the same time.
Right. So for
Gotcha.
the longest time, I'd be upset, especially when I started paying back my student loans.
Mhm.
I'd get real mad at my mom. I'd be like, "It's you and Dad's fault. You made me do this. Like, nah, I'm paying it back." And I swear, for the longest time, I mean, you can ask my brother, and my sister. I would like get like livid. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, "This is your fault. You made me sign the papers. You made me go here. I'm paying for it," and it would piss me off. And until literally not too long ago, I had to stop and be like, I'm placing blame. I'd blame my ex-girlfriend for all the shit that happened,
Sure.
all this other stuff. I'd be blaming anybody and anything to not accept my own shit.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
And it's like you have to stop and you have to say, you know what? Maybe had you been a little more headstrong, it's my fault. I made that. I didn't say, you know what? I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
I didn't make the decision. You let someone else make that decision for you, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's your fault.
And you very well
should've-
could have made that decision.
Yeah,
on
you
your
could
own.
have said, you know what, dude, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I really don't want to do that.
Hmm.
Or I don't want to go to school there. I'd rather go to a junior college. I'd rather go to a smaller college and not get in that debt.
Right.
And I was too. I want to say I was too much of a bitch to grow a pair and say, hey, speak up for yourself. I was
Mhm.
and I've been like that. I've been quiet my whole life, dude. Like I just don't say shit. I just kind of go through it, and it's
Yeah.
like that has to change if you want to do. If you want to obtain anything you want, you got to speak up.
Yeah.
I think that's a whole thing, man. That people don't make decisions for themselves, and they're really influenced by other people.
Yeah. That can be really tough. It was kind of like my situation. I felt that, and I know you could attest to this as well. But even when I was younger, it was baseball.
Mhm.
And when it came to going to college, I mean, there was no question that I was going to go to college. So that was
Right.
for sure one thing that was always just going to be a thing.
Not if, when.
Yeah, exactly. Not if, and it was more so when.
Yeah.
So that was. I feel like I wanted to go to college too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but that was always instilled in my mind, so I did want to do that. But it came down to either going to a college to play ball
See,
or
and
going to community college.
and I think that's where we were different, because I don't know if I would have gone to college if it wasn't for baseball.
Right.
Which is wild to
Yeah.
think about, but
Yeah. So it was those two things that were just kind of like those differing positions for me,
right.
and I had to stand up to my father and tell him, like, this is, in order for me to get to my end goal, which was graduating from UT,
Right.
it would have to take me not playing ball and transferring in to get a scholarship to play ball, because I knew I wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
I wasn't as good as
See,
those other guys. I
that
wasn't as
takes
tall,
that takes a lot of
and it was self-realization and understanding. You know what? Hey,
hey, that ain't me, man.
if I ultimately want to get to UT, this is not the way to go.
Right.
Regardless of that.
Yeah.
Sure, I could have probably gotten a scholarship someplace to play. Maybe transferred out of Shriner University, which is
yeah.
another small college. It's a D3 college in Kerrville, Texas. Sure, I could have maybe transferred someplace, maybe got a scholarship, this and that. But truly, my end goal was to go to UT. And this is how I kind of placed this pros and cons kind of list for myself to make the decision that I wasn't going to go and play baseball. My bet, and this is what pissed my dad off a lot. He was paying lots of money for lessons, traveling, teams, everything.
Oh, so he looked at it like an investment he made that you didn't follow through with.
Absolutely.
Got it.
And to this day, I can say that I truly made the right decision by going and sticking to school, because it wasn't just the baseball and the team and that's it, playing and pitching. That's it. Because I really do chalk up a lot of my success to maintaining like a teamwork mindset.
Yeah.
So I don't think that those years of playing ball and investing that time and money that my father did for me was any sort of thing that just wasted away and that was it. Like right. I think getting coached, being on a team, working with other people, and all those sorts of things I learned by playing baseball ultimately chalked up.
Well, you put yourself in front of a lot of good people.
Yeah.
And you learned a lot.
Exactly. Not only that you keep your connections and your network and sort of those sort of things, but I spent some of the best years of my life playing those games and playing baseball, dude. And those sorts of, so I don't think it's a bad investment at all. But he saw it that way because they didn't go on and play.
Yeah.
But my decision to go to community college was a big one. It pissed him off, and I was heavily influenced by my father. I was scared to stand up to him. I was very scared.
Feel that?
I was very scared. And
Feel
I told
that
him,
for sure.
One day I just told him, I'm not gonna play. I want to go to UT. I want to go to Texas. That's it.
Which is strange because he went there. Well, I figured that he'd be supportive of that.
He was, in a sense, he was, but he didn't believe that I was going to get in solely on academics because my grades sucked.
Yeah.
My grades were trash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and it was more so because I was so focused on baseball.
Yeah.
I had no other time to do anything else. Barely any time to study. I was training every day, going to school all day long. Couldn't go home and study. I was deadbeat tired, dude.
Right.
Like, right. I was so tired. So to sit here and say that, that was what I was going to go and do, I knew that it wasn't going to happen.
No.
I had to do it strictly on academics alone. It was my best chance of getting there.
Yeah.
So I do think that looking back, I shouldn't have been so heavily influenced. I should have just said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to do it. This is my life. This is what I want to do. And I'm so glad I was able to chalk up the courage to do that, because I don't regret making that decision at all. Especially since I started having pain in my shoulder. And there was a few times I played, intercollegiately through select baseball and that sort of stuff during the summer with y'all. But even then, like, I started having problems with my shoulder, all sorts of crap. Then
it paid off.
Yeah.
And, that's one thing, like, I was scared of my parents to tell them no. Because, like, and I'm not,
and it was also the fact that I was a kid.
True, you're young.
You're young. It's hard to stand up to adults.
I remember, like, we went to go eat, and they sent us the letter of intent because it was too late for a signing thing. As like Incarnate Word's probably, if you want to say I had a regret, that was it.
Incarnate Word's got me.
University of Incarnate Word, San Antonio, D1 University, and of course my father was pretty big. Like, it's D1, oh my god, like, it's a big deal.
Right.
And like, sure, yeah, great, big deal, man. Like, but like, I had absolutely no idea the what it was gonna take to play there.
I felt like you were going all sorts of different places.
Dude, I was all over the place.
You were at a different college every year.
Yeah, it was stupid. But, like, I remember, like, and I knew it. They gave me, like, 25%, bro. Like, that's nothing for Incarnate Word. It's private. Of course, it's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah. And
we went to go eat, and I remember, like, my dad was like, you're going to sign this, you're going to go. And, like, I didn't even know. I was just enamored that his school wanted me to go play for him.
You're, what, 18 years old?
Yeah, 19 I was 18 years old, man. Like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Not the complications, like, the things that came with it. So it was basically him forcing the hand, like, you're going to play here because, like, you've been bred your whole life for this.
Yeah.
And I fucking hated it. I honestly hated playing for that program.
Yeah.
I hated it. I didn't like the coaches, and it was just a waste of a year.
Yeah.
And I think that me staying there, I didn't gain anything. I didn't grow anywhere. I didn't do nothing happened. And I went in debt $20-something thousand for, like, nothing. Like,
yeah.
Why? So I think that I should have been more headstrong there, but I didn't. So I really admire that you took that route, because at that age I didn't have the balls to do that.
Yeah, it was also partly like talking to my brother, and my brother's a smart guy. He's currently a medical doctor. God bless him. He's working in Chicago right now doing this whole thing. But yeah, he helped me a lot because I actually went and talked to him and asked him, hey, what should I do?
Yeah.
Granted, of course, he was more so into academics, so he's like, well, you should do academics. But
Well,
I mean, but it made sense.
See, that I think you had maybe a little bit of upper hand there because
Sure.
your brother, he had already graduated from UT or was going to graduate from UT?
He was about to graduate
Right. So
because it was right after college.
I was the first. What
no,
are the-
he just graduated. I guess.
What is it when you're first graduate of your like entire family? What is it? First gen, whatever. I was the first person,
generation.
yeah, to go to college and like graduate.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
My mom didn't go. My dad didn't go.
Really? I thought your mom went to UTSA.
Yeah, for like a year. I didn't graduate.
Okay.
But like the point is like nobody in my family went. My dad's brother went and eventually got his degree.
So do you think that your
later
parents
on.
kind of like wanted to live?
Hell yeah, they did. Of course they did. And like at the time, my mom was a teacher.
Sure.
Granted, my dad was
Gotcha.
working. It was like if you don't go to college, you look bad.
Yeah.
Your mom's a teacher. Like, kid didn't go to college. Like things have changed.
Wow, you're a
now.
teacher. Your son's not gonna go to college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
So like, it is what it is. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I've come to terms with it. Like, this is my fault. Accept it
Mm-hmm.
and move on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had to get to that point.
Because imagine if you were to be stuck in this whole thing.
Oh, it was, dude. It was
like
I was
the whole thing
angry.
about having student loans and being stuck in debt for now.
It's like
it can eat you up.
Yeah, dude. It for a long time it was, and I was just angry and pissed and like living in that past of like, oh my god, problems. Or like the other thing was like in with like in the past, just living in the past and like thinking about things that you did that you fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're gonna keep repeating it over and over and over and over, and it's like people do that, man. And people do that for years.
Yeah.
And they never make it past.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if you never make it past, you're gonna live with hate in your heart.
Right.
If you have hate in your heart and like anger,
Mm-hmm.
like you're never gonna progress. You're never gonna move forward because you're gonna be like suppressed by that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's something that a lot of people need to learn. And like you need to know, like
So,
what?
go on.
No, that's pretty much the end of
So,
that.
for younger people that are listening in, what would you? I mean, or if you're talking to a young person, your brother or sister, like, how would you tell them to approach parents or friends or acquaintances or whoever the guardian on how to go through with a decision like that?
That's a tough thing to do,
especially at a young
for
age.
anybody to stand up to your parents, especially when they're the money. They're financially taking care of you.
Right.
Because it's like you can sit here and say, hey, Dad, like you're going to send me to X. I don't want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
And they could very well say, well, then you figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
And that's hard, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to fund you.
Yeah.
You don't want to do
You're
what I
either going to
say.
do this. It was
Yeah.
the same thing. It's like you're either going to go to Austin and I'll pay for Austin if you get into this school, or you're not going at all. You're not going to be funded.
Yeah, I don't
I
agree
think,
with that.
see, and here's my thing. As we continue to grow older, and for those that are going to have kids or are about to have kids or want to have kids in the future, and this is speaking out of something that's in my heart and my own opinion, I think we should start normalizing. That's even a word, but we should start to normalize with our kids. If we start having kids, that it's okay to feel a certain way and go through with a decision, and to be supportive of that.
See, I think that that's a big thing, man. Parents that didn't get to, and this is where regret can affect more
Right.
than you,
Right.
is they didn't get to live. And I'm not
And
saying
they didn't
your
get to go to
parents are
college and
shitty
play
here.
ball in college and this and that.
They didn't get to do shit, or they regret not doing shit. So they're just gonna say, no, you're gonna do it
Yeah.
because I didn't get to,
Yeah.
and they lived through them,
Sure.
and that's fucked up.
Yeah. And that's not, you're not talking about your parents. Like,
I'm not talking about my
they-
parents.
no.
I mean, I've forgiven. I've come to terms with that.
To an
It's cool.
extent.
To an extent. I mean, you'll always know that's there, but like, you cannot have a kid and then manipulate them to do everything that you did plus what you wanted to do.
Right.
Doesn't work.
Mm-mm.
Because and you know what? I can't even say that doesn't always work, because sometimes you have a kid, and you're a coach, play baseball.
Yeah.
And he just bleeds and breathes baseball, man.
Sure.
And that happens,
That's fine.
and it's fine. But there's kids that come out and they're like, and I'm just using the coach, and like their kid becomes like a musician or something, like
Mm-hmm.
doesn't like baseball, and the parents like shun him. It's kind of like it's kind of like a what do you call it? I know I was watching Blue Mountain State, and the guy's a big time football coach.
Chad?
No, that's Thad, dude.
Oh, Thad.
The coach, Marty. He's like this is supposed to be like a big time school, right?
Yeah.
And he's the head coach of this school, and
Yeah.
his son's like this like complete opposite, like musician. I think he's gay or something, and he like shuns him and like hates him, and it's just like this like super satirical thing of like, of course, like the coach's son has nothing to do with football, like hates football, and like that does happen, and it's like you have to be supportive of that.
Yeah,
no matter what it is,
it's your son, it's your daughter,
it's your happiness, man. Like it's your life.
That's it.
Yeah, man. Like, and I think a lot of people don't do that. They don't give the kids the option to live the life they want to live. Even man, even now, like we were talking about this whole thing with the marathon. My mom doesn't support it at all.
So for people that don't know,
so I mean,
what's your plan?
I'm trying on all the way through. I'm just trying to see how much I can my body can take.
In terms of what?
Of how much I can run.
Okay.
So like one of the challenges I'm gonna do, I think, and I read it off of that book, the David Goggins book.
What's the name of the book?
Can't hurt me. Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. If you haven't heard of it, check it out.
Check out David Goggins.
Amazing read.
Amazing dude.
Amazing read.
Crazy dude.
Yeah. So he ran 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours.
Okay.
And if anybody's listening,
does that include sleep?
No. I mean, every 4 hours you're up and going. So I think I wrote it out. It's at 12, 4 a.m., 8 a.m., 12,
when
4
do you
p.m.
expect to?
I'll try to sleep.
Complete it.
I mean, it's gonna take 2 days, so I'm gonna do it.
No,
I'm gonna do it on my
like
birthday, so May 1st and May 2nd.
So within the next month, less than a month.
Next couple weeks, yeah.
Okay.
So and I told my mom, I was like, hey, like I don't, and this is something that I've seriously been debating, and I wanted to run marathons back then, but I was too influenced by one of the girls I was talking to at the time, and I didn't end up doing it. And you guys were like, oh, you shouldn't do it, and I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna do it. But then it was always in me. It was, and that's that, dude. Just a couple months ago, I wasn't making my own decisions. I let y'all say, you shouldn't do that, and I said, you know what, you're right. But it's always been there. Like I want to run a lot. I want to run, and I just like eventually I was just like, I'm just gonna fucking do it. I don't care. So I told my mom, I said, hey mom, I'm gonna start training extensively. I'm gonna start cutting down what I eat. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna put my body through as much. I want to I want to find my limit, legit. I want to see till like my legs explode, how far I can go.
Yeah.
And she was like, that's stupid. You shouldn't run marathons. You shouldn't do that. Like,
did she actually?
You're gonna hurt. Yeah. She said, you can ask my sister. She was there. She was like, yeah, you're stupid. Who are you trying to prove this to? Like, what are you doing? Like, and she's trying to talk me out of it. And it's like, because I want, for me personally, I want to find my limit. I want to put my body through the extreme to see if I can actually handle
what would
that.
be a really cool idea?
What's up?
Vlog it.
I'm going to.
Vlog it.
Dude, help me do it.
Yeah, I'll vlog it.
Yeah, we'll be here for 2 days straight.
Yeah, vlog it. Vlog what you're feeling, how you're feeling, talk about it. Seriously.
Yeah, I might do that. It's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
See how it feels.
Vlog it and write down or talk about how you're feeling in certain different times.
And it seems like it's going to be pretty fucking intense because it's 48 hours and it's 48 miles in 2 days. So it's 24. It's 2 marathons in 2 days. Essentially is what it's going to come down to.
Split up.
I mean, every 4 hours. So hopefully that relieves some of the pain, but like I want to see if I can do it.
4 miles every 4 hours. That doesn't seem like it would be too
difficult. It doesn't seem. I did the math though. And it's going to fuck you up. 48 miles in 48 hours. 24 miles a day. Now, granted, there's no time limit on how long it takes you to run those miles.
Right.
But I would assume being on your feet.
So that means at the end of as soon as you're done with the last mile, boom, 4 hours. You set a timer.
Yes.
And then you go.
And then you go again.
Gotcha.
I'll probably wait till I come upstairs and I'll start the timer again so I have time to like at least get off my feet.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming my sleep's going to be very minimal in that 48 hours.
Yeah, I think that's
which is it. And I really want to try it because I want to see how far. Because I've been reading that guy and the guy's a monster.
Mental monster.
And he opens it up, man. That's what I'm saying. If you haven't read that book and you want to get to like who you are, read that fucking book.
Okay.
I mean, goddamn, because Jesus Christ, it opens up your eyes because it's not those self-help books where it's like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. No, he's like, look, motherfucker, like you're a piece of shit. You need to figure out why you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. And
like there's activities in there that you do, and it was super awesome, man.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, maybe I need to feel some pain and suffering to see how mentally strong I am.
Sure.
If I'm anywhere near this guy, which I'm probably not.
So to go back, so obviously you're gonna do this whole thing.
Yeah.
And so
people, back to this. I wanted to do this, and people are already in my fucking ear. That's stupid. Don't do it. Why are you doing that?
So it's exactly what he was saying that's going to happen.
Right. Exactly what he's going to say. People are going to tell you you're stupid, and that's what we're talking about now.
So this can really honestly pertain to a whole bunch of. This is not just running 4 hours or 4 miles every 4 hours, right?
No.
This can apply to a whole bunch of different avenues and things that you want to do.
And so I did this yesterday. I don't know if you saw. I knew we were going to talk about decision making today.
Mm-hmm.
And to prove a point, I put it on my Instagram story. And I put the thing and said, is this doable? Yes or no? And how people can sway your opinion. People like, I think I got more, let me check. I really think I got more no's than yeses. And like that proves
more no's than yes.
Right, yeah. No, I actually got more yeses now. It kind of fluctuates. But for a while, I got a lot more no's than I got yeses, right? And it's well, should I do this? Like, oh my God, maybe this is stupid. Maybe I should. And that can go into how people influence all your decisions.
Sure.
Yeah, man. And that just proves the point. Like, and for a while yesterday, I was debating because before I even put that on there, I was like, I'm gonna do this.
Mm-hmm.
I made the decision in my head. I was like, I'm gonna do this. And when people started saying no, I was like, fuck, maybe I'm legit not good enough to do this. Yeah. Maybe I'm gonna kill myself. Maybe like I'm gonna die if I do this.
I don't think you'd die, but
I mean, I'd be in some serious pain.
Sure.
But like I'm ready for that. But like people were like, no, you're stupid. You shouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing this? And like that can go to anything.
Right.
I'm gonna go to the school. Why would you go to that school? Why would you take that job? Why are you gonna move?
Why are you gonna move this
That's
area?
Stupid.
Yeah.
Why would you just
start
stay
painting?
here?
Why are you gonna start singing?
And I think that goes, and honestly, that goes into something that like when there's people living mediocre lives,
mm-hmm.
and you're gonna do this great amazing thing. You said, you
or
know
try
what?
to go and do
or
this
try to
thing.
do this great amazing thing. People get fucking scared, and they're like, no, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That's dumb. Why are you gonna do that?
I also think that goes back into surrounding yourself with people that have a positive
people,
mindset.
Man. Yeah.
People that are doing the kind of the same thing, or put yourself in a position where people are out to do the same thing.
Yeah, and
or become
right.
That
are trying to better themselves.
Right.
But
extend their limits, not just sit down and keep it a
and that comes into and that can
area.
even be built into this is like you're making a decision of who you're gonna have around you.
Right.
I think that's very
that could heavily
yeah.
influence your decisions.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like I think I said this last time, if you're hanging around fucking losers, you're gonna end up being a loser because that's gonna rub off on you. Yeah. So it's like if you want to go do something amazing, you know whatever it is, you want to do something like you want to run a half marathon,
right?
And people haven't done shit because they just sit on the couch all day.
Yeah.
They're gonna say, "That's stupid. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna influence your decision, right? Maybe it is stupid.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But it's like that's something that's good for you. Like do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, do things that make you uncomfortable.
And I know,
keep you out of your
right.
zone.
And I know that we talked about this last time, but it's like in these decision making, people that you think are gonna support you, it's gonna hurt because it's gonna like what happened to you. Your dad didn't support your decision.
Yeah.
And like that's your dad. Like that hurts.
Yeah. Of course.
Fuck yeah, it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember when I made the decision to not go to Kingsville, like my mom shunned me for like 6 months, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like the person you thought that was like,
and it's always gonna be like that.
Oh man,
it's always gonna be the closest one to
you. I
tell
thought
you otherwise.
Yeah, I thought like the one person right now is gonna have my back and be like, you know what, shit happens, like you'll bounce back. I didn't have it.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't there.
But you had to find it within yourself to
right. Yeah,
to
really
really
like I have a plan
with who you are.
I have a plan. It's gonna be all right. Like and it was tough.
How did you? So when that all occurred, what made you realize or kind of put you in a position to think like, hey, this is me now. This is my issue. This is my
that
problem.
was really and that
what
was a
really
big
put
deal.
you in a position to put your mindset like that.
So I was I'd been to Lufkin. If no one's been to Lufkin, Texas, it's a small town.
It's all the way out east.
Yeah, East
Louisiana.
Texas, 2 hours north of Houston, middle of nowhere. And if you haven't been to Kingsville, it's in the middle of BFE.
Yeah.
Down the opposite direction, and it's worse than Lufkin.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
nothing out there.
And you get back to the idea.
Nice schools.
School's
sure,
nice, very
yeah.
nice. Sure. But to get into that real quick, just real fast, I had signed a letter of intent in the fall, which was also a decision heavily influenced by my parents because it was a full ride.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew from the get-go, and everyone has that gut feeling. And at the time, I was still a child, man. I was like 19, 20 years old,
yeah.
I think I was.
Yeah.
And, I wasn't ready to make a decision like that.
Yeah.
I mean, and I relied on my parents. And, of course, any parent's going to say, damn, they're paying for your college. You're going to go.
Yeah.
I don't care if it was in freaking on some remote island. You're going to go. They're paying for your school. You know?
Remote island.
Yeah. We're paying for your school. You're going to go.
Yeah.
And I knew I didn't want to go. I knew I was tired of being in a small town. I was over it. I wanted to come home. I spent my 2 years away. I was ready to come home.
Yeah.
And I remember, and for me, being a procrastinator and being scared to make that decision for myself, I played it off to like the last day.
Yeah.
And I called the coach like the day we were supposed to report. I
I
said,
remember
hey, I
that.
ain't coming.
I remember that.
I was like, I'm not coming. And he was like, we'll give you more money. And I was like, no. Like, it has nothing to do with you guys or the money.
Did you tell your parents this?
Oh, yeah, my mom was livid. Shit, I was such a fucking failure. I mean...
So you told your parents right before you had called the coach saying that you weren't going
Oh, I had told my mom days before, and she was insisting,
Gotcha.
"Oh, you're gonna go." And of course, I was still kind of like babying it, and it got to the point where I was like, you know what, like fuck this.
What made you do that though? Like what
Because
came into your mind and made you realize I don't want to do this?
I just was like ready to like live my own life, bro. I had been living a life that was influenced directly by my dad and my mom. Like, you're going here, you're doing this, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, you're gonna go get a job, and I was just like,
You were tired of it.
I was a
This is the
fucking
last straw.
puppet, bro. I was 21 years old and I hadn't made a fucking decision for myself yet.
Right.
And that's kind of where it all began. Of course, it's an
Gotcha.
evolution to get to where I am now.
Sure.
But it started there.
Mhm.
And like, I had a girlfriend here at the time, and like it was my brother's senior year. You know, my dad wasn't going to be here for it. There were so many different factors laying into this decision.
Mhm.
So many different things. And I was like, you know, maybe I need to be here. I need to be here for this.
Mhm.
You know, I need to be here. And my mom didn't have it. She was like, you're a failure. Like, you shouldn't have done that. Like, you're a disgrace. Wait till everybody hears about this. And like, what are they going to think? And bro, I was like, fuck what everyone else thinks.
Mhm.
Like, I'm doing me. And like, and it was kind of like I was torn between the two. Because I was like, I know what I want, but my mom's putting this doubt in my ear. And like making me really sit here and doubt what was everyone else thinking about me. And it made me really self-conscious.
Mhm.
And that kind of spiraled into a whole lot of other things. But it was like, that's kind of when I began to like, I got to do this on my own, like make decisions, no matter how tough they are.
Yeah, you got to do it.
And no matter how much I was going to get shunned. And to be honest, man, I was happy.
Yeah.
Legit. I did something, and like,
You were
it was,
proud of yourself
my
that
mom
you-
made it rough for me because that was a whole mess. But like, I got to spend time with my friends because all my friends from Angelina, well, you
Ended
know,
up coming to
ended
St.
up coming to, no, they ended
Or
up coming
San
to
Antonio.
UTSA.
Okay.
So I saw them so much more, and like I had free time, and like we were hanging out. I was hanging with my girlfriend. I was hanging out with my family because I hadn't been here in 2 years.
Yeah,
You know?
enjoyed it.
Yeah, because it's Lufkin, and Lufkin's 7 hours away, so I didn't
Yeah.
come home ever.
Mhm.
So I was happy, man. I enjoyed my time. So I mean, it all worked out. But at the moment, you know, the world seemed to be collapsing because everyone around me said I was stupid.
Mhm.
But like, and then everyone was like, your baseball career is over.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, you know?
Yeah.
3 weeks later, I got a call from St. Mary's coach. Like,
Yeah.
everything works out. But like, at the time when you're making these decisions, you have to be you have to do what you feel is right.
Yeah.
You have to. And shit will work out, man. It'll always work out.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes it may not seem that way.
It'll lead you to a path that kind
Right,
of ultimately
right.
sets you up to be successful.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Man, that is just crazy.
It's wild. Yeah. There's a lot of crazy stuff that happened.
Man, you can go on and on about
Yeah, that was a whole mess, man.
a whole different
That was a
amount of
whole,
stories.
Yeah, that was wild. But I mean, I think like, but even you go back to your decision making, like, had you not made that decision and gone to play Shriner, baseball at Shriner,
I would've
no matter
hated
how
myself.
tough that would have been for you to
Would've
tell your
hated
dad
myself.
that, you would have hated yourself.
I would have hated myself.
Yeah.
I mean, our buddy
Oh man.
went for 3 days. I had already gone to orientation at the time too.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I was there at Shriner University, I was at orientation. I was gonna get my roommate. Everything was set in place. So it wasn't up until the last day. Like I was already in orientation. I had signed off on papers. I had already established my roommate.
Mm-hmm.
I was already. It was it. I was gonna be on the team. This and this and this and that. I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
So to come and realize, like, holy crap, like, this is happening. I was going to be out in Kerrville, Texas, where there's really nothing
Mm-hmm.
out there. I mean, maybe not as bad as Kingsville or Lufkin, but yeah, I mean, like, holy shit, it was the scariest freaking
Yeah,
thing of my
dude.
life to say, hey, no, I'm not going.
You're giving up.
After
yeah.
everything, I talked to the head coach. I made some friends over at orientation who I'm actually was friends with now, but like,
See, and so when you talk about that, so we talk about like I should have made these decisions, and that's where I'm kind of still torn into in regards to that, because man, I made a lot of like great friends at Angelina.
sure.
I 100% regret Incarnate Word because I hated all the motherfuckers out there.
Yeah.
Hated that place.
Mm-hmm.
But at Angelina, and especially at St. Mary's, dude, like I made a lot of great friends.
Right.
Like it was those were 2 of the best years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I knew I was done. Like, I played, yeah. And like everyone was like, oh, you know, you should have gone to Kingsville, blah blah blah. You should have played because like I went to St. Mary's that one year and then I blew my arm out.
Right.
And then I was just done. I was just
Mhm.
over the like. It was time to start something new.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was like, oh, you should have done this. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. Like,
Yeah.
I'm good. Like, I was ready to hang him up, bro. I was done.
Yeah.
I was over it. It was time.
Mhm.
And like, yeah, you're gonna miss it, but like, I made that decision.
Life goes on.
Yeah, man. And
Nothing you can do about
and
it.
you know, everyone has their speculations. Like my brother, like, oh, you hung it up because of X or because of whatever. And I'm like, you know, man, like,
You can say
I look
that.
back, like I played, I made friends. I wasn't gonna go through surgery for it. Like, it's over. It's done.
Yeah.
You hang them up.
You realize, I mean, you come to a realization of where you're
Right,
at,
right,
and
yeah,
how
yeah,
good
you
you
know
are.
where you are,
and
yeah.
You're like, damn. Like,
And I felt I was going, like, my arm was going down, so I
Mhm.
was okay with that decision,
Mhm.
which was a big one to make.
right.
Because I could have very well went and my mom still to this day wants me to have
Like, it was the
surgery.
same thing with my injury. and
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
could
man,
have
this is-
gone to the doctor and
no
got it
way.
fixed. And like, if you really had that drive, but it's like, you know what, you made that decision.
knowing
to
where
move
I'm
on.
at, and
yeah,
then
it's
with everything. It was
and that's
just like-
more self awareness, man, of like
Yeah.
knowing your place. Because there's guys out there, man, that think they're God's gift to anything, and it's like, dude, yes, come on,
Yeah.
let's be real. And you know, you've seen them.
Yeah, sure.
You know those guys,
Yeah.
and it's like you have to be real with yourself,
Right.
or if not, you're gonna live a lie. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, when it comes to making decisions, you have to do what you feel is right. And
Yeah.
I think that's something we kind of strayed away from that idea, but like
Mhm.
you need, and like I really stress this on people, and that's kind of where I make decisions that are going to help me,
Mhm.
and I'm not making that in a selfish way. But
Yeah.
if somebody places a decision on my plate to be made, I'm going to make it with what feels right then and there.
Yeah.
What feels good to me.
And then you're not going to dwell on it if it ends up being bad.
and it takes a while to get to that point, but like you have to know, like, you're going to lose some.
Yeah.
So you might as well go ahead first in everything you do. Full
Right.
send.
Full send.
Full send. Just fucking do it, man. Like, I'm gonna do this, and if in a week you sit back and you go, fuck, fuck that, and that's happened to me. You've witnessed. I'm just like,
I
God
fucked that
damn
one
it,
up."
I fucked that one up.
But you learned.
Yeah, and
You
you
learn.
can't sit back and go and like sit back and look and be like, God damn it, and keep looking back at it. Like,
Yeah.
you have to just say, fuck it. What's next? Like, keep moving. Like,
Yeah, what's
I
next?
made that bet. And I think a lot of people sitting there like worried.
And that also kind of comes into play where you're taking a reach or a
Yeah.
leap.
Right, you're gonna make that decision to do that, right?
Yeah.
And you're scared to fail because you're scared of what everyone else around you is gonna think.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
I mean, it all really comes down to that, because this ultimately, all these stories are ultimately coming down to
Doing something and not worrying about what everybody else around you is gonna
exactly
think.
doing what you want to do, taking
Yeah.
the leap, making a video, starting a podcast, whatever it is. Like this is what this conversation's about.
Yeah.
Is because it's taking the leap, and if you severely fall face first in the freaking ground and
Mhm.
you eat shit,
Yeah.
hey man, you're gonna get back up. You're
Oh,
gonna-
yeah.
And the whole point is that we've done these stupid things
Mhm.
or made these decisions and we didn't look back. We just kept moving
You
forward.
just got to keep moving forward.
And it's cliche, but it's true.
Yeah, and even we're doing this, like we made this podcast, like this is a leap for us.
For sure.
Like I've never put
sure.
something out where I don't even think I've put out a video of myself on Instagram talking because I've just
Yeah.
like it just
It's just-
despised it. I was
you're
nervous.
scared.
I was scared.
Scared what people
and like
think.
now we're doing all this stuff, and it's like you have to know that if let's say we do something and like everybody shits on it,
Yeah.
like the people that are legitimately gonna shit on your creation or what you think is cool,
Are the same people that are gonna be scared to do the same thing.
they're scared to do the thing themselves. They're not doing shit themselves.
right.
Right. They're probably sitting at home,
Living a
going
life of
and just-
mediocrity.
and living a life of
and
mediocrity, or like
there's no urge or try
that
in their life.
and they're sitting at home and they're pissed off about God knows what,
yeah.
and they're gonna shit on you because they can't do it themselves. That's the first
Right.
thing. The second thing is if you're gonna make that decision and you're getting criticism from everybody, you have to be okay with that,
Sure.
because you have to know that everyone else around you, if you fail, you fall on your fucking face
Mhm.
and you lose, you have to know that everyone else around you is losing just as much,
Yep.
if not more than you.
Yep. It's all part of the process.
It's all part of the process, and since they're losing as much as you are, you gotta say fuck them.
Yep.
And just, you know what, whatever,
Mhm.
and do what makes you happy, man.
I
Like,
also
that's what it
think
comes down
that
to.
it's really bad to compare yourselves to others
Oh,
that are
yeah.
kind of trying to do the same thing that you're doing, more so than looking back on what you've done before and realizing how much you grow.
Right.
Because you always see that. You're always comparing yourself to social media, people, influencers, this, and that. You're not in the same timeline. You're not the same person. Like, rather than base your decisions off of what other people are doing or how successful somebody else is,
Mhm.
on social media or wherever you see this person that you're looking up to,
Right.
rather than comparing yourself to this person, it's okay to look up to them and have that as kind of like a motivational thing, but your whole premise should be to look back on how far you've come
Yeah.
and compare yourself to where you were, hell, a month ago, 2 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, and see how far you've grown, see how much you've changed, more so than looking at other people and see where they're at now.
You know, man, and that's like, I think that's big, man, because that's where a lot of decisions and influences come from.
It's all mental. It's all sort of kind of like a mindset that you instill in yourself.
Yeah, man. And the other thing, so like going back to like making decisions and not dwelling on them, you have to know, and this happens to a lot of people, they make bad decisions or they do somebody wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm keen to this. You can't live based on your past decisions.
Right.
And that kind of goes, I know we're kind of backtracking real quick, but I had this thought and I wanted to get it out.
No,
I know you
that's
put
fine.
it too.
It's fine.
And it's like, you have to know that if you were your past decisions, you'd never move anywhere. You'd be stuck in the same fucking spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like,
you're not who you were a week.
You're not who you were a
month
ago. No, man, you're not. Everyone's always evolving.
Yeah.
Because if you were who you were a year ago, it's a fucking
And
problem.
there might be some traits that kind of stay the same.
Right,
Like
right.
ultimately, like you're continuing to grow. If you are continuously urging yourself to make certain decisions.
I mean, if you're never growing, if you're just sitting stagnant,
yeah, you're
probably
just doing what you're doing day to day.
Yeah, you're probably depressed if you're just sitting stagnant.
Yeah. People should be uncomfortable. You should make yourself uncomfortable.
Fuck, live in
that's
that.
okay.
Live in that spot, man.
It's okay. Like that's literally
that's what this is, man.
Yeah.
Like I was nervous. as shit
2
to start
seconds
this.
before the
Yeah, I was
freaking
like,
video
fuck, I'm
started,
nervous,
you're
bro. I don't
nervous. I
even
was
know
like,
why I was nervous.
Why the
It
hell
was
are you
weird.
nervous? Number 5, dude.
I don't know, man. It was weird, but like I you know what? I low key get nervous every single time,
And that's okay.
and
That's
because
it.
I know we're gonna
And
put
that's
this
good.
out. I know it's a good thing.
We're
I had
just
it on
having a
my
conversation.
yeah. We're just having a conversation, man. You just kind of get in the zone.
I was low-key
mean-
excited because we finally got mics. So
Mics.
yeah, man.
Hopefully our quality is a little bit better.
I mean, for instance, we got shit on because we don't have mics.
Yeah, we did.
I got shit on by a lot. What are you saying, bro? You looks like you're playing Battleship. Like, all right, guy. Like,
Well, we
got
put
it.
that in the post. We put that in that one post we made because, like, fuck you, man. Like,
yeah, but it's true.
whatever.
You know,
And it was funny.
it's
I mean, it was
it looks
funny.
like we're
It
playing
was,
Battleship,
yeah, it was
so.
kind of funny. But now it looks a little more legit. But,
yeah,
but
and
I
I'm
mean-
glad I caught, kept these things and they're here and whatnot.
Yeah,
but
man. I'm surprised
I mean,
no one's commented on
so
the
I mean, there's
Mellowhead yet.
there's a difference between taking like constructive criticism because
Yeah.
it wasn't so much like, hey, you're shitting, like, where you freaking.
We actually
mic
haven't
at?
hit that point yet.
We haven't hit the point yet.
We've been
maybe a little
been-
bit.
We've been kind of blessed. With,
We have been blessed with some positive reviews and feedback.
And you know, man-
the only thing was really the constructive criticism on having 2 mics.
And you know, honestly, man, like I think that goes back to like we've been pretty smart with the people we surround ourselves with.
yeah, sure, absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I keep
In
my
retrospect, sure.
I keep my circle pretty small.
Yeah.
For that reason, because I don't want to be surrounded by people who aren't improving me.
This whole thing wouldn't have been a thing if it wasn't for
well,
literally
you know,
your mind, my mind,
Yeah.
having a positive outlook on things that we wanted.
and because even when we were trying to make this, people were like, well, "Why are you gonna do that?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, absolutely.
And it was close people to us too.
Yep. It's
Yeah,
always
man.
going to be the ones
Yeah.
closest to you.
That's gonna hurt, but you gotta push through, man. So retrospect, do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Make decisions for yourself and fuck everybody else.
And don't think twice about it, man.
No,
If
you're
you do
gonna
it,
have to
you
learn.
do it. You learn.
You live and you learn, bro. I literally say that to you all the time. You live and you learn.
yeah, and then
You
you
live and you
go
learn.
severely fuck up.
Yeah, do something really stupid.
you
You live and you learn, man. Because that's legit. That's legit how I take
Like,
each
sometimes
day,
I don't
bro.
take it seriously. I'm like, yeah, that was really stupid. But
Yeah,
at the
but
same
then like
time,
think
I'm
about it.
okay.
Like that's like how else
At
would
least you learn.
How else will you live, man? You have to. You have to just tack shit head on.
Yeah,
and
it's like
just
it's
say-
like you're a baby. Like babies, like they
They just
interact
do.
with stuff.
They just do.
and then they learn. That's literally life. But this is just at a larger scale.
Compare me to a baby, man.
Sometimes,
compare me to a
sometimes
child,
I do.
bro.
Sometimes I do wonder. I always-
Dude, because it's like that's cool.
I
I'm
do
gonna go
wonder.
do it.
But
I'm gonna go do it. Like this whole thing,
It is
man.
what
I
it
might
is.
blow my legs off. Might have to
Yeah.
call an ambulance.
yeah, maybe I need
Live
to
and
do something like that.
You live and you learn. Let's
Yeah.
do it. Let's do it.
No,
Come on, dude.
I'll vlog it.
Just see how long you can last.
Dude, I'm no physical condition to do that.
Come
Now,
on.
maybe next year when I start cutting down on weight,
I'll do it
I'll
again.
probably be able to do it.
Do it again if my legs don't explode.
try it.
I'll do it again.
But we'll see.
All right.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. So
Appreciate you for tuning in.
make good decisions.
Make good decisions, but it's okay if you make stupid decisions.
We all make stupid decisions.
Yep. Give us a follow. Check us out. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Hopefully you can hear
TikTok.
us better.
We just started
Hopefully
TikTok.
Hopefully you can hear us better. We got these mics.
Got
So,
mics. Let us know.
Yeah.
Comment below. Let us know what you think about the mics.
And yeah, we'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah, Tuesdays, Thursdays. We'll have our next video up, and we'll be on number 6.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
We'll have a good one for them.
All right.
All right.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.